So guys, welcome back to the channel, and I think you can just see a silhouette of me because of the sunlight, but I just wanted to do a quick intro. I've been at the lake for about half an hour now. I've had a good look at the far bank. I've sprinkled a little bit of bait in. I'm just calibrating the rods now, getting the rods set up, getting them on their spots, getting them all wrapped up, and then once the rods are out, I've got one rod out fishing at the moment. Once I get this other rod out and get the house up and get the kettle on, then I'll sit down and have a proper chat with you. But welcome to the channel, welcome to another video. So that's it, both rods are out. Time to set up the house and chill. So there you go, there's the first fish of the session. Caught that really quickly, put the rod back out again while the fish was in the net, just sort the camera stuff out. Luckily I've got two nets set up because the rod was away again after about another 10 minutes, and I've got another fish resting there, ready for a couple of pictures. Awesome. So part two of a little flurry of activity. Lovely common, and this one came within about 5 minutes of putting the rod out after having that other one. So two fish in quick succession, well happy with that. Is the session going to carry on like that? Don't care, got two fish, well happy. I haven't even had a chance to put the bivvy up yet. This one's very tensy, very flippy, so I'm only getting back in the water. But yeah, fantastic start. The video must be all over the place at the moment, but I'm down at NMG Fishery. I got here late because the session starts at 12 o'clock. I didn't finish work till 12:30, so by the time I got everything sorted out, I got down here a bit late, and I was quite keen to get into the swim and get started. So I went round to the far bank, put a little bit of bait in, not too much, it is winter. Sprinkled a little bit of bait in, and then I'm fishing a slightly different baiting approach this session. Instead of fishing mainly boilies, I've put a little bit of pellet out, and I'm fishing little mesh bags on the hook with chromed boilies, ground bait, and a few small pellets in. And I popped the first rod out, got the second rod sorted and put that out. Just as I got the second rod out, the first rod was away. So we've had a lovely linear mirror, dark linear mirror, only a smallish one, but beautiful fish in the net. I unhooked it in the net and got the rod back out on the spot. Just thought I'd let it rest in the net for a few minutes while I put the rod back out, in case there's more fish in the area, and get the mat and the camera and everything ready while the fish is resting. And while the fish was resting, the same rod was away again that I just put out literally about 3 minutes after putting it back out on the spot. And I had a lovely common, again a smallish one, maybe sort of upper singles, might have been a scraper double, but luckily I had two nets set up, which was a bit of a result, which is why I do it. I always carry two nets just in case something like that happens. So two fish really quickly. Again, put the rod back out on the spot, and now I've had time to sort the fish out, pictures, bit of video, and put the house up, and I still haven't had any more action at the moment. So they've let the swim calm down a little bit so I can get everything readied for the session ahead. I've got everything to hand, I've got everything that I need, hopefully. You know, I'm like for forgetting things, but yeah, they're out there. I'm confident. I've had two fish already. I was going to say, you know, one of them winter sessions, I said it before, these winter sessions, if you can catch a fish, I think you're doing well, you know. Yeah, we've had two straight away. Sun's just dipping down behind the hill over yonder, so we're going to go into dusk shortly. So let's get the headlamp out, get the beanie out. I've got a new little method as well for this session. I've got, let me see if I can find them quickly. Glow sticks. Right, I'm not going to have a party, although it is nearly Christmas. But the idea is to put a glow stick. I'm going to wind these in a minute, and I'm going to put a fresh bag on, fresh hook bait, and I'm going to flick them back over onto the spots, ready for the night. But before I flick them back out, I'm going to snap one of these glow sticks, well, two of them, and I'm going to put them over on the bank where I'm casting to, so that at night time I can see exactly where I've got to cast to with this glow stick that's over there. It's an idea I've had for a little while, but I've never actually put it into practice. But I have actually gone out and bought some. They was £1.50 for 3 at Tesco, so 50p a glow stick. I think it's worth 50p, or at least £1 a night, just to know that, you know, it's just when I'm shining the far bank up with my head torch to try and see the spot that I'm casting to, or the silhouette in the trees and stuff, and it's not, you know, I don't know, it's just an idea that I've got, and I'm going to put it into fruition today. I'm going to give that a go, and I'll let you know how that goes. But yeah, I've got here and I haven't had any lunch, so I think the idea now is to make myself a little bit of lunch. Oh, lunch, what's the time? It's probably getting on for like 3 o'clock or something. It's half 3. So I'm going to have some early tea. I've got a burger for later. I've actually got a fire pit and some logs as well, so I can have a little bit of a burn up tonight. You are allowed to do that here. They do supply fire pits. There's fire pits and barbecues dotted around, and there's piles of logs, but I just thought I'd bring my own clean fire pit and my own dry logs, so I know I can have a burn up. Nothing worse than getting here expecting to have a fire and then all the logs are damp and you can't get them alight. So enough waffling. I'm gonna have something to eat and get back to you in due course. So as I mentioned earlier about having glow sticks in the far bank, so I can see where I'm casting to at night time, and that's what they look like. A little bit of ribbon on there so I can hang it in a branch just above where I'm casting, and at night time I should be able to see that quite easily. And they're quite simple. Just give it a little snap. I don't know what colour this one is. This one's blue, bright blue, but it doesn't matter what colour they are. And they've got these little caps that push on. This is the Tesco ones. Like I said, these are £1.50 for 3, so 50p each. 50p each. Stick it over in the tree, see where you're casting. Comes with these little ribbons as well, which are ideal, to be honest. So I can just tie a little knot in that. I might be going a bit far, do you know what I mean? But it's just a little idea that I've had, and I thought I really need to put it into fruition. And here, fishing across to the far bank, is a perfect place for it. So I'm going to wind these in a minute. I've got some little mesh bags, tiny little mesh bags with boilie crumb, small pellets, and ground bait in. I'm going to wind them in, freshen the hook baits, put a couple of those on, flick them back out onto the spots. Well, before I go and flick them onto the spots, I'm going to go around and put these in the branches. So proper dusky now. It's only going to be about 10 or 15 minutes until dark, I think. But I'm confident. And if I zoom in over on the far bank now, I'm pretty sure you can make out that little glow stick that I put round earlier. And that is absolutely spot on. Now the green one is really bright. The one I've got on the right hand rod is a blue one, and that one is rubbish. I can only just pick that one out. But the green one is really bright, and I'm going to have no trouble casting over towards that in the dark. Don't even have to switch the headlamp on. Well chuffed with that. There's a moon starting to appear through the trees. Got a burger sizzling away. 2 rods out, and I'm fishing. What could be better? So it's not long got dark, and we've had another one on the same rod as before. And this fish, wow, that is just incredible. That is just mind-boggling. That is so gorgeous. That is so beautiful. Never get tired of catching these, negligible of size. That is absolutely tremendous. Proper chuffed. Okay, look at the other side. And then get her back in the water. And then get the rod back out. Because that rod, that spot is rocking. Look at that fish. Look at that fish, that's a proper one. Proper chuffed with that. 3 fish already topped off with that. Just amazing. So what a fish that was. Absolutely made up with that one. Would love to have caught it during daylight, but I think we've still got some good pictures of it, even though it's in the dark. But yeah, wow, what a fish. That's the ones that we come here for. And it's only 5:30, still early. rod's back out on the spot. The right hand rod's done nothing. All 3 fish on that left hand rod, they must be stacked up over there, but I'm reluctant. I did think about it earlier, maybe bringing that right hand rod round a bit, fishing 2 on the spot, but I don't see the point. I think 1 rod on the spot, less lines, and I've had it here before where 1 rod will do it up to a certain time and then the other rod will start. So I'm just going to keep things the way they are at the moment. Proper made up, 3 fish already, and some really nice ones too. I'm really comfortable, not cold. It is getting chilly out there, but I'm not cold. I think when you catch a fish, the adrenaline starts pumping, you know, you're sorting the pictures out and slipping the fish back and sorting yourself out, and it's just, I think it warms you. I think if I sit here for a while now, and nothing happens, I think that's when you can get a bit cold. But I am going to start the fire pit up in a minute. I think I'm going to get the pit out, start building a little fire, take my chair outside, and sit around the fire for an hour. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Got no marshmallows though, unfortunately. So because it's December, I thought I'd get a little bit festive, get in the spirit a little bit. Why not, eh? Easy that is. That's what you... So we've got our little fire going now, proper cosy on the December night. Jesus Christ. So before I cast out those last 2 rods after that fish I just had, absolute stunner by the way, I pop round and I literally put a handful of boilies, 5 or 6 boilies over each rod, and a handful of pellets as well. And while I was around there I swapped out that blue glow stick for the red one, and the red one's really bright. It's just as bright as the green one, so I'm happy with that now. Just when it gets really dark at night sometimes, you can't see the silhouettes in the trees, and you've got to start shining your powerful headlamp beam across the lake to find out where you're casting. I don't think it does you any favours, you know. So I thought I'd try these for tonight, and I'm really happy with them at the moment. This is so warm. This is absolutely lovely. It's only a little fire. I just brought some stuff along, with a couple of bits of newspaper in the bottom, a little bit of thin kindling that I just penciled up when I was at home, and we had an old wooden chair in the garden. We was going to get rid of it, and I just sawed it up into sections and I chucked it all in the bucket, and that's what I used to burn up. There's only 3 bits on there, that's enough. But that is so warm. Yeah, life's good. And welcome to another episode of Tales by the Fireside. Funny little story from earlier. I was in there, inside the bivvy earlier on when I had that run. I was in there tying up some little PVA mesh bags. And if I do anything close up like that, tying PVA bags, making rigs, looking at the back of the camera, anything close up, I've got to wear my glasses. So I've got my glasses on, and I'm beavering away in there. And I heard a couple of bleeps on the alarm, followed by line exiting the reel, sharpish. So I panicked, jumped up, ran out there, picked the rod up, and I'm doing battle with this fish, and it's kiting left and it's kiting right, but all the time I'm thinking there's something not quite right here. I feel a little bit delirious, I feel a little bit drunk, I feel a little bit woozy. Am I coming down with something? What's going on? Am I going to be able to see out the rest of the session? And then I realised I still had my glasses on. Took them off, everything was fine. What a nugget. I don't know why I haven't done this before down here. In the winter, this is the way forward. I've got a little grill for this as well that you can sit on top, and then you can put things on top, like, I don't know, you can put some pork chops or some steaks or something, wrap them in foil, season them, and then just sit them on top for a while. Let them cook inside the foil. You don't burn them that way. That would be great, that would. But the only downside is, with the smoke and everything, your clothes stink. So when you're inside in the sleeping bag, you can smell the smoke all night. But if you can deal with that, then it's worth it. Obviously, if your lake allows. Down here, they supply fire pits. There's a few bits and pieces lying around, and some logs. But just thought I'd bring my own. I know it's clean. I can clean it out before I take it home. And I know that I've got some dry wood. That's lovely, that is. I just went and stood by the rods just to have a little look at the lake, just to see what's happening. It's probably about an hour since I got the rod back out after catching that fish, and it's been very, very quiet. So I just went to the edge of the swim just to have a little look, and it was a little bit shivery over there. Looked up and saw thousands of stars and half a moon. And it's little wonder that it's cold out there. But here, in the vicinity of the fire, absolutely toasty. Absolutely toasty. And 3 fish. I'll take that. That is brilliant. The plan is, it's like I say, it's 6:30 now, probably getting on towards 20 to 7. So I'm going to have a little bit of a warm up here for a while, and then I'm not going to put any more wood on that now. When that dies down, I'm going to call that it, and I'm going to get back inside, and I shall probably have a nice cup of tea and get inside the sleeping bag. I've got a new sleeping bag. I've got a new toasty 5-season sleeping bag, and I've got a feeling I'm going to be taking layers off tonight, as opposed to previous sessions. I've been inside the sleeping bag shivering a little bit at certain times of the night when it's got really cold. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to the night ahead. I think it's going to be a comfortable one. That's the main thing with these winter sessions. You've got to make yourself comfortable. Make sure you've got hot food, hot drinks. Everything inside the bivvy is going to keep you warm. If you can do this, this is good. This is highly recommended. We had one in the summer, and we were cooking some marshmallows over it. This is back home in the garden. And I decided to have a little go at cooking a sausage over it on one of them long extendable forks. And I held it over flames for a while. Nothing really happened, to be honest. It just went black, it didn't cook. I hate beanie hats. They do keep your head warm, but they don't half make you itch. Oh. I wish they'd invent one that don't make your head itch. So I think it's about 9 o'clock now, and it's been a little while since the last one. I've had a bit of rest, I've had a little bit of a snooze, but we've just got this one. Cracking chunky mirror. Really dark one, really dumpy one. Really nice fish. And yeah, like I said, I was having a bit of a snooze. Woke up and just laid there for a while, really, really warm in the sleeping bag. And then this one trotted off, and it's cold. It's really cold out. But we don't mind getting up when we get up to these. That is a wonderful fish. Really, really clean mirror. Really, really nice frame to it. Really pleased with that. Fish number 4. Well pleased. So it's 10 o'clock, just slipped back fish number 4. So far, we're having a cracking session. The moon now is directly opposite me, and I can see 2 of them, one in the water and one above the trees. Yeah, the session's going really, really well. It's cold, but in this new sleeping bag that I've got, I am absolutely toasty. But I was laying in there, semi-dozing, you know, when you're probably getting 10 minutes, and then there's a party, there must be a village hall or something over there, and there's a load of cheesy music being played. Must be a birthday party or something going on. I would imagine that by about 11 o'clock that'll wrap up, or shortly after. But I've been sitting there listening to Macarena and all sorts of stuff, honestly. I nearly got out and had a boogie, but no, I managed to contain myself. But yeah, just laying there sort of semi-dozing, half conscious and half not. And left hand rod. What I've done now, the right hand rod that was fishing over towards Triple Trees, I wound it in a couple of times, and each time there was chod and leaves and stuff all over the hook. I think that spot is a really, really rough, choddy spot. Whereas the left hand rod, I've had 3 takes off of it, and I haven't had anything on the hooks when I've wound in, when I haven't had a take. So what I've done now is I've brought them round where the starlight is over there, the glow stick. I'm fishing a left hand rod about a rod length to the left of the glow stick, and the right hand rod about a rod length to the right of it. So they're in that area, and it was only about an hour ago I decided to change it up and bring that rod across. And I thought, if I'm going to bring that across, I'll just bring that one in as well, put a fresh bag on, fresh hook bait, and get them both where I want them. And I say, after about an hour, the left hand rod was away, and we've caught fish number 4. So really chuffed with that, really chuffed. Now I'm awake, I am going to have a little something to eat. I think I'm going to warm up a pasty in the old Ridge Monkey and have a cup of tea, and then that should see me through till about 11 o'clock, and then I can get my head down. So this is fish number 5, and for me, it's a pick of the bunch. That scaly one was nice, but this one, it's just got a frame to it. It's got scales all over it. It's yeah. Oh mate, that is a cracking fish. That really is a cracking fish. A ghosty linear, just beautiful, just incredible. When that was fighting underneath the rod tip in the headlamp beam, I just thought, stay in, hook, please stay in. But yeah, stay in it did, and look at that, what a fish. What a fish that is, flat along the back. That was powerful as well, that fish in the water. God, such a stunner. Such a stunner. Proper chuffed. Proper chuffed. Brought both rods round onto that spot, and this is the right hand rod that was fishing over onto the red glow stick, and one that I brought over, and that's the one that went. So absolutely amazing. And that is absolutely freezing. I can't feel my hands, but I don't care. I'm going to slip this one back, get the rods back out. Who knows what's going to happen next. That is amazing. It was about 10 o'clock when I put that chunky mirror back, because it was just after when I did my little piece to the camera, and it's about 11 now, and I've just put that ghosty back. What a fish that was. Really like that fish. The frame, it's just immaculate, absolutely immaculate. Some people aren't that keen on ghosties, but, and be honest with you, I'm not that keen on ghosty commons. But you give me a ghosty mirror with a few scales on it, a bit of a linear scaling on it, they're unusual. I think they're just pretty. I just think they're gorgeous fish. Yeah, fantastic session. 5 fish so far, and it's 11 o'clock. So we're just under an hour away from halfway through the session. Now, after going by previous sessions, after midnight usually goes quiet, and usually get a bit of rest and a bit of shut eye, so that wouldn't be a bad thing. But if I can carry on catching fish through the night, that wouldn't be a bad thing either. The plan now is I kind of downed that cup of tea quickly because I had that fish, I had that pasty, I had a cup of tea, and I was halfway through the cup of tea when the rod went. And as I said, that was the right hand rod that I brought round off the triple tree spot. I brought it round and put both over there, and that was the one that went. So chuffed that I made that decision to move the rod. I need to make up some more little PVA bags ready, have a cup of tea, and then get myself back in this bag, get myself warm, and maybe have another little snooze. But yeah, it's going really well. Really enjoying this session, I really am. Oh, this is like a little block of ice. There's fish number 6. Lovely, cracking little fully scaled. Absolutely stunning. What a beautiful fish. That is absolutely perfect. Fin and scale perfect. And so cold on my fingers. Wow, that is cold. I'm going to get that back, get the rod back out as quickly as possible, and get back in that sleeping bag. Yeah, what a session. What a session. Absolutely made up. And that is beautiful. And I'm shivering. So, morning time. Good morning, world. And it's a beautiful morning because we've got a beautiful winter carp. Chuffed to bits with this one. I got up this morning at first light, redid the rods. I always do that on here. And most places I've gone, bite time is first thing in the morning. You just don't touch the rods. But here, for some reason, I enjoy bringing them in at first light and knowing that for that first part of the morning, over breakfast time, I've got fresh hook baits, a little bit of top-up bait out there, and it seems to pay dividends. And it has this morning. I don't know what time it is, probably about 8, somewhere around 8 o'clock. half 8 maybe. But we've got the first one of the morning on the bank, fish number 7 of the trip, and on a winter's trip like this, and it has been cold, seriously cold. I can't feel my fingers holding this fish up. Okay, I'm just being told it's 9 o'clock, yeah. So yeah, 9 o'clock in the morning, we've got our first one. 3 hours left of the session, and the rod is back out on the spot, so could we get another one? Fingers crossed. Definitely going to get a cup of tea on though. Happy days. So the glow sticks have been made redundant now, but they've done a brilliant job through the night. Definitely going to use them again over here. So fish number 8 is probably the smallest fish of the trip, but an absolute stunner all the same. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Again, it's like holding up a block of ice. It is so cold. That water must be freezing. Yeah, stunning fish. Fish number 8. You'd take that on a winter session. It's been proper cold. I would have taken 1 or 2 fish. But this has surpassed expectations. Proper red letter session, I think. Another smaller one. Another absolute stunner. I think peas in the pod, some of these fish. Just incredible. Size don't matter. I'm gonna go, let me have a quick look at the other side, and then get her back in the water where she belongs. I don't know why she'd want to get back in that water, because it's absolutely freezing, but each to their own. That, yeah, stunning fish. Absolutely beautiful. What a session. What a session. So apologies that this morning I haven't been as chatty as I usually am. I've had Ross round, having a bit of a social, we've had a bit of breakfast together, a bit of a chin wag, put the world to rights. And I've been catching fish. 9 fish. If you'd have said I were going to catch 9 fish at the beginning of this session, I would have said you were stark raving bonkers. I'd have been happy with 1 or 2 fish. But 9. Something's aligned. Something's gone right. I have got a bit of a different baiting approach. I haven't been putting much bait in. I mean, last night I went round once and sprinkled a couple of handfuls of bait on the spots. And I've done the same this morning, but apart from that, it's been a little mesh bag with some crumbed up boilies, a few pellets and a bit of ground bait in. And I think those put in the right spot where the fish are held up. That's obviously what I've found. I've found where the fish are held up. Stumbled across it. I booked this peg last Sunday when I was here doing the day session. I was in the point, and I said to myself, I haven't fished peg 3 yet, and it's a nice it's a nice roomy peg. There's loads of room to get your bivvy in. It's just a comfortable swim, you know. It gives you a good view of the far margin. 10 wraps across to the far bank, so it's not long range fishing by any means. It's nice easy fishing, accurate drops. Peg 4, where I usually fish next door, is a bit of a shorter distance to the far bank, but it's one of them that I just redid the left down rod and I just had a single bleep on it. Bit of a liner. You just feel a little bit hemmed in there sometimes. I was fishing in there when I did the last night here, fishing across to the far corner where I saw numbers of fish, and although I was pretty sure I was on the fish, I didn't catch any. I had 3 that session, 1 in the afternoon and a couple during the night, and I just thought that, I don't know, I lost confidence in that swim a little bit, so I wanted to get here. And then when I turned up yesterday, I wanted to call up and say, no, I'm going to go in 4 actually. But I stuck to my guns and thought, no, I'm going to definitely carry on in 3. And it's paid dividends. It's fished its head off. I've probably got a little bit of time left now. It's 10:40. 10:40. So I've got an hour and 20 minutes until I've got to get packed up and be gone, and there is people booked in on this swim for tonight, so I do have to be away. So yeah, we'll see out the last hour or so, and I might get to number 10, you never know, but 9's just tremendous. Unbelievable result. So the time has come for me, unfortunately, to do my outro. I've got about 15 to 20 minutes until I have to be off the venue. The rods are still out at the moment. I'm just packing everything away. But what a session it's been. 9 fish. If you'd have told me I was going to catch 9 fish at the beginning, I'd have said you were mad. but it's been brilliant. Sometimes if you're on them, you're on them. If your luck's in, it's in. But yeah, I'm going to get packed away now. I've got some other people coming down who's going to be in this swim, taking over when I've finished, so I better get off a bit sharpish. So thanks again for watching. Tight lines, and we'll see you in the next video.